Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday. I'm Raga Olga De Silva, or Totally Out Now as you know me. Welcome to Today with Totally Out Now, presented by the Views Room. Our aim currently is to bring you highlights of stories from India, those who are going through COVID challenges, and how we can, as individuals and as a community, support them. Our friends, for instance, at Indians in London have just sent a shipment of oximeters, oxygen concentrators to India. Remember the entire fundraising that we did I think the last three shows. So that's your contribution. That's the contribution that we receive from the diaspora. Please to continue. Please to continue to contribute. Every bit helps, as you know. We have Jignesh Patel and Nimish Shishodia who are cycling 100 kilometers across London. I know I just wanted to poke a little bit of fun, then I decided I'm not going to. 100 kilometers by Indians in London to fundraise. Do support them. All the money will be put together towards resources for India. You can find more details on Indians in London Facebook page. Now remember, India needs us now. It is our homeland. Nicola is doing the background work on this. We are continuously putting these stories forward, bringing in NGOs forward so that we can, in our own little way, contribute towards this cause. Now let's come back to today. Today we will discuss a solution to a problem that is very specific to countries like India. Space is a constraint for many. COVID, as we know, is highly infectious. So what are the alternatives when you are faced with COVID and have to manage distance? What if you or members of your family have COVID and you have no place? How do you isolate? What if we have to quarantine in a small house with multi-generational occupants? The youth of India got together last week and did something that we should all feel proud of. They built a website called www.findabed.in and created a database repository for those looking for quarantining facilities outside their home. We have with us today Akhilesh Jayakrishnan, Senior Director of I.I.M.U.N, a global organization for youth, who's part of the core team of Find a Bed. Welcome, Akhilesh.
Hello, Raga. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Akhilesh. And we also have with us a 2 times Filmfare Award winner, writer-director, and a very, 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 very dear friend, Jyoti Kapur, who's a live wire, who's also a cause ambassador for Find a Bed and has dealt with COVID situations, in fact, early this morning. Welcome, Jyoti.
Hi, namaste, and hello, everyone.
I love your initials, JKD. I love it.
Yeah, it's just easier to work with, right? Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hi, Akhilesh.
Hi, Miss Jyoti. How are you?
I'm good.
So wonderful to have you both here. And I'm really looking forward to this discussion because today I am very inspired by a 20-year-old. I mean, I'm just sitting back here and I'm not normally ageist. I must tell you that, Akhilesh. I love because I have 23-year-old twins myself and I learn from them every day. But when I heard about Find a Bed and I learned about what you did, and I heard that there are 15 to 22-year-olds involved in this, volunteers, it just made me sit up. And it made me feel that there is hope for this country, for us, really. So thank you for that. Please, Akhilesh, first and foremost, please tell us more about what is Find a Bed.
First and foremost, let me thank you and Miss Jyoti and Miss Nicola for not only having me here, but also help us amplify the message. And it is because of you all that we are being able to, tell each and every citizen of India that there is a website made exclusively for you. Okay. So, I.I.M.U.N is in fact world's largest youth-run organization, and we conduct these conferences, MUN conferences, Model United Nations conferences in 22 countries and 160 cities in India. As the world's largest youth-run organization, we thought that it's time for the young people to do something. And India is reeling under a crisis. And with the help of these 20,000 young student volunteers that we have, we thought we should do something. So that is how we came up with this idea called as Find a Bed initiative. The main problem of this entire pandemic is that 90% of COVID patients can be cured just by home quarantine. But now comes the problem. There are there's a massive bed shortage, like there are no beds available. And even if there are, people don't know about it. So that is the main solution that we have to this big problem. That is getting people connected to the quarantine or the COVID centers nearest to them. And with the help of course the cause ambassadors that we are trying to amplify the message further. So
So
yeah,
what?
thank you so much, Mr. Yeah.
Sure. So what is find a bed? So let's say I'm in Mumbai and I'm COVID positive. So what happens from there on? And
Yeah.
I'm worried about passing it on to, a family member who lives with me. So what happens from there on?
You just go on our website. It's called as www.findabed.in, as you can correctly see on your screen also. Then you go to your preferred language. Now we are also available in 10 different regional languages, starting from Urdu, Punjabi, Malayalam, Tamil, Odia, Bengali, and all these different languages also. Then you click on your preferred language. You just add your PIN code, okay, and then you click on the search button. You'll get a option, a very comprehensive list of all the COVID centers or quarantine facilities next to you. Then you just call them up. The availability capacity and everything is mentioned, of course. But you just need to call them up and ask if I can come now. And then you take it forward from there.
So is it a paid service or is it a free service?
Okay, so we have an option also. You just click on that button, you choose. If you can go to a paid quarantine facility, you can click on the paid option. There's also a free button. So everyone, stadiums, government hospitals, most of these places are giving free quarantine facilities. You just click on the free option, and then you only get free quarantine facilities. And then you call
Okay.
them up. Yeah,
Okay. So basically, if I was COVID positive, I was in a city like Mumbai, for instance, and I wanted to use this facility, all I have to do is to go onto the website, findabed.in, go through the options there, and click on through my zip code, right? I have to give my PIN code,
correct.
as you
Yeah,
said.
your PIN code.
And then, yeah,
You can
PIN code,
also
and
just
from
do
there,
your city. You don't need to even know the zip
City.
code. I mean, if
Okay,
for
yeah.
example, if there are
City, PIN
people
code.
doing it for other people,
yeah, I was
it's
just
just
gonna.
you just write the city and it just comes on the best part. Akhilesh, you need to tell them it's all verified. I think
Yeah,
that is
it's
something
all
which
verified. So every day we have all these young student volunteers who sit and actually verify the data. Sometimes the quarantine facility is booked completely. So we remove that particular quarantine center and we add another verified one. So this is
Wonderful.
what we are also trying to do. Every day we have all these student volunteers who help us out with verifying the data as well.
Akhilesh, will come back to you for much, much more on this. Now, Jyoti, I want to ask you. I know you are one of the, I think, the best cause ambassadors that anybody could ask for, because you.
how
I mean,
sweet.
I no wonderful because I see you on your Insta pages and Twitter. You amplify so much. Oh, so, first question to you is one: what made you become a cause ambassador? Because we're all so busy, right, these days, doing so many different things. And
Yeah,
what did
it's
you do?
just no. I think we've. I mean, till Find a Bed came along, we've really been struggling because there's nothing much that we can do. It's like if somebody tags you and says, here is a patient that needs X Y Z. All we can do is then tag other people or tag maybe politicians or corporators or hospitals or whatever, and kind of we know other volunteers who are working, and there's really little that we can do, but we're doing that. When Find a Bed comes along, a service like this, which is already verified, because half the time also we are struggling with this thing that there's nothing there. We mentioned somebody or we mentioned something that we knew of a couple of hours ago or a day ago, and now it's not available anymore. So now these things, in fact, my classmates, there was somebody last week who was in a hospital in Bangalore and he needed an ICU bed. So it's all these crazy things which are all happening at the same time. And then when you have a service which verifies everything for you, I mean, we are taking a lot of credit for all the hard work really that this association is doing and all the volunteers are doing, and the way it's all put together and made available so easily. So even on WhatsApp groups, it's literally just typing in a web address, and people just have to go to it. So there's no credit due to us. I think it's all them. We are just amplifying it, and just a good chance for us to earn good karma ourselves, I think.
Excellent. So, Akhilesh, so why did you bring in cause ambassadors? I mean, you have Nikhil and I as cause ambassadors. You've got Jyoti, you've got Baman Irani. I see so many actors, activists. So, why? And what is your strategy going forward?
Essentially all the people have different followers, okay, like maybe on social media. So now we have the former Foreign Secretary of India, Ambassador Nirupama Rao. Now she will have a very different following list to what a Karan Johar has. So that is what we are focusing on. All the different parts of the society should have access to this particular thing. Now, uh, now because Nicola and you are a cause ambassador, then we are also focusing on London, correct? So that is what we are trying to focus on. On each and every citizen of India should have access to this. They are basically helping us to amplify this, message to each and every citizen of India. Now, with cause ambassadors are not only celebrities or like people with 1 million followers or verified accounts. They can be your milkman. They can be your housemate also, or your bhaji wala, the sabzi wala also, because they can then spread the word in their community, in their family also, and that is the reason why we have 10 different languages. Now, if the person
Languages.
is comfortable in Marathi, yeah, the person can always read the entire instruction what they have to do next in Marathi. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So, Jyoti, coming to you, you have a young family, right?
Yeah.
Would you put your children forward to volunteer for something like that, as you
Yeah,
have
that
volunteered your time?
yeah, I think it's, I mean, especially now when we were just talking, Akhilesh and I, before this, the whole thing is there are university kids, there are school kids who even if they have online school, I mean, now the holidays are on because all exams got scrapped and stuff. But there's so much, even if you say, okay, I'm not going to spend my entire day doing this, just volunteering is giving back. It builds character. I think when you know we always look at the bright side of things, however bad things are. Yes, there's a global pandemic, but I think the world, the way we've all rallied, and everyone has rallied, I mean, there's no exceptions to this. Everyone has rallied, everyone has kind of pulled up their socks, given support to each other, regardless. They're strangers just doing stuff for each other. Exactly what's happening here. It's just so inspiring. I think these are life skills that our younger generation is learning, especially through endeavors like this, where they feel there's much more to life than just getting your degrees and doing a job and whatever. Even young professionals who are working, it's such a crazy opportunity to build character, to feel that you're giving back to society selflessly. I mean, that is something which is irreplaceable. It's just, I just can't. So I mean, my children would be on standby to, I mean, one of them is sitting for his engineering entrance exams, the other one is studying law. But I know that that they're just waiting to now figure out their timetables and stuff to come in on. So he finished his final exams, the one who's doing law now, last week, and he's going to, he's doing a summer course, but he's going to make time for this. It's just 2 or 3 hours a day. It you're everyone around you, you feel proud, you make them proud. I just think it's just brilliant. I'm overwhelmed with with this, with how much Find a Bed is giving. I mean, apart from just the actual infrastructure, but as morals and ethics, I think it's a big deal.
And look at the conversation. It's quality conversation with someone like an Akhilesh who understands the
Yeah.
depth of what the requirement is. It is not just superficial. So
Yeah.
I so
Yeah.
I must say thank you to Akhilesh and his team. But Akhilesh, can you explain to me? You said that there were over 20,000 volunteers all across India providing this facility in 496 cities. It's mind-boggling. 1 week. How? And I just don't know what to say.
It's
So we always thank you so much. So essentially, we were present in 160 cities in India, and we had different teams in all the cities and all these 160 cities. So all these students, with the help of them, the you know the manforce that we already had, we're just using them now to help us amplify the entire course. Now, like Ms. Jyoti said, that they're giving exams. So what they can essentially do is, if they just want to take a break for maybe half an hour, you know, they can always log in as a volunteer and they can help us verify the data. So this is always possible, and they need not give 4 or 5 hours for this. Just half an hour will also do. Some contribution is always nice. A lot of my friends also used to always say, we can't do anything here. Like, we literally can't do anything because we can't go on ground and help those people because we are scared that our family will get infected. So this is, I think, an excellent opportunity for all the young people,
yeah.
volunteer and help all these COVID patients who need your like who really need your help at the moment. So I think yeah, it's
I think
for young
I
people.
think Akhilesh, it's not only young people. I think a lot of even senior citizens, for example, who I mean, they all they need is a phone, really. And they just feel, people who feel that okay, now we've done everything in our lives, and they now are again also contributing to society and to just being of help is just so amazing. I think it's not only youngsters; it's all of us.
I agree, Jyoti. I agree. And so,
Yeah.
Akhilesh, you've
Yeah.
got two things here. One is cause ambassadors, like people like Jyoti and us, who can help amplify this, right? And two is
Correct.
volunteers. And how to become a volunteer? How do I register? How does anybody register to be a volunteer with you?
So you just go on the website. There is an option called as Help Us. Okay. The first thing there is volunteers. Okay. You just click on that. You fill a form, and then we get in touch with you and how you can help. The same thing goes for cause ambassadors also. There are a lot of doctors and nurses who are helping us as cause ambassadors because a lot of people contact them saying, okay, I need a hospital. So them as cause ambassadors, they are also going to help us a lot by telling the patients, okay, you can always go find the nearest COVID center or find a bed. Yeah.
So, sorry, Akhilesh, did you freeze? No. So, a cause ambassador, so someone like a Jyoti, I'm just going to use Jyoti as an example. How does how can she help apart from just amplification? I mean, she's fantastic on Twitter and Insta, and I know she has a WhatsApp group. But how can she help in further ways?
Correct. So another thing that she can do is, of course, amplify the message, send people the messages, and I'm sure, like Jyoti, Ms. Jyoti also told me that she gets a lot of tweets asking her for help, saying, "Okay, we need this, we need this." So of course, she can always, redirect them to findabed.in.
Yeah.
Another thing that she can do is there is an option called as donate. Okay, that could be rupees 10 also, that could be rupees
Yeah.
100 also, that could be any amount. She could just donate that for a second phase, that is building a new center, building a new COVID center. You know, now for me, my second home could be a school or a college. So I can speak to my teachers saying, okay, let's convert our school into a COVID facility. Now, Miss
Yeah.
Jyoti can do the same thing. She can say, okay, let my
Yeah.
workplace be a new COVID center. So
Yeah.
that is going to also help us, by helping us build a center and by donating some amount so that, we can help people build these centers also because there's a lot that is involved when it comes to
Yeah,
building a center.
like Akhilesh in Mumbai. So we have at Andheri Lokhandwala we have a sports club, and it's empty right now. It's like this humongous area, and with him, I'm getting this idea that we can actually suggest and say, can it be a COVID center in Lokhandwala itself, so that there are people who are struggling for beds or to be quarantined, or just, and they don't need any fancy equipment. They're literally only quarantined there. And the
Yes,
same thing that you just need to be away from your loved ones, so that you don't feel scared that you're infecting them. Maybe there are older people or younger children or something, and you don't want to jeopardize somebody else. But this is this is what I'm going to do as soon as we finish this. I'm going to call up my club and I'm going to tell them we need to do this.
Fantastic. And Jyoti, you earlier mentioned to me about your own PTA group that you have on
Group,
WhatsApp.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah. So I think, yeah, people just they just need to spread it out, and it's just so easy. Everybody has WhatsApp groups. Even your boring old family groups, if you put it there and say one message, just forward it to everyone, is better than your silly
yeah.
jokes and
yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, and we have to be mindful. That's the only thing that I keep repeating on all my shows, Jyoti and Akhilesh, that be
yeah,
mindful. When you send messages, make sure that
yeah.
they're verified and you send message which is going to be useful to somebody. That if
Correct.
you're asking them for something, ask them specifically what you want.
Yeah,
Say you want your school to, use this, create this
yeah,
facility, set up something, what is the requirement, and connect them to the right people.
yeah,
That's the other thing that's happening, right? All of us get so excited and we start sending stuff, and then half of it
yeah.
is just
Is
lost.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See,
Or misused.
or misused, and that's very sad to hear. Right, right. So, Akhilesh, coming back to you, tell me, do you see this translating into an app at any point? Because that seems to be the in thing now.
sure. Using a website becomes very much convenient for a lot of people. Earlier when Zoom was new to everyone, even I found it difficult to, set up the app, first install it, then log in. So it becomes a bit difficult for everyone to, use our app. So for now, we are only focusing on the website and making it better every day. Of course, we are going to soon have a new app also, but that will take some time. We just want to focus on everyone and it should be user friendly also.
So tell me a typical Akhilesh day, because you told me some mind-boggling numbers. And I said to myself, and you said that you have 5,000 volunteers who basically, I would use the word reporting to you on a daily basis. How does that even work? And
Yeah.
how do you
So what
continue smiling like this?
it's actually fun to every day interact with these young students. We sometimes also play these 5 minute games on Zoom, online games. So that really helps for us to know each other also. And we have these Zoom slots, so from 10 o'clock to 10:30 I'll be with the people for whom that timing is convenient, and I'll give assign them that particular work. So I do that, starting from morning, all our team members, in fact, starting from 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 a.m. in the morning. And then, of course, there's a break. And then we start the entire thing again. So, yeah, that's how it goes. So, Zoom is constant. Like, it's open all day long. Yeah.
I've been going through your Insta pages and I've been looking at all the comments that you receive from people who couldn't find a bed, then they've gone onto your
Yeah.
website and found beds. But one common feature is that most of the volunteers are saying they've been working 15, 16, 18 hours a day and that it is so
Yeah.
gratifying. And that word stays with me, constantly saying it's so
Yeah.
gratifying. All of us watching this, listening to this is it. Every one of us, little choto effort, not much, is so
Yeah.
gratifying. We are actually saving lives. We are helping people
Yeah.
come out of something which
Yeah.
is quite difficult right now. Jyoti, tell me, I'm really
Yeah.
interested because you come from a very interesting industry, a creative industry.
Yeah.
How do you think that you can bring in more cause ambassadors?
So there already are a lot of I'm going to use this celebrities and young people who are cause ambassadors, and we keep seeing, and it's so happy. I feel so happy to see every day the number of people who are posting the Find a Bed, I'm a cause ambassador posts in my circle of people whom I'm following on Instagram or Twitter is just really again, but. I think that, as I think what we also should do, and which I'm going to, now, because it's so thought provoking, this whole discussion, is that we do need to, I think, probably talk to our associations, and we need to talk to our unions as well, bring them in, because they have the whole data bank of all, all the technicians. So whether it's the producers or the directors guild or the writers association or the the cinematographers or the junior artists or artists, whoever they are, I mean, production design. This every field has its own association and union, and I think if we approach them all and we say, you guys really need to figure out a way to do something for your association members.
Exactly.
Tie up with Find a Bed, find a place. Maybe a lot of people have. For example, I know that the producer association in Andheri, opposite Star Bazaar, has this huge, because they're on this refuge floor, they have a huge terrace area outside which is supposed to be open. So maybe if they can contribute that area and say we'll put up nothing at 20 beds, or 25 beds, there's enough space for that with social distancing and everything. And it's not monsoon, it's nothing, it's good pleasant weather right now. Even if they commit to do it for say a month or something, it's a good giving back to your own organization.
It's a
And don't do it,
fantastic idea.
don't do it for outsiders, do it for your own people. Yeah, be selfish about it, but do it.
No, fantastic idea. What a fantastic idea. Because if each one of us, and I keep saying even one is
Yeah,
enough, if each one of
yeah,
us within our own ecosystem
yeah,
develop something like that, I think it will be such
yeah,
a blessing for all of us,
yeah. We
right?
just become independent, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And like you said, be selfish. Don't do it for others. Do it for
Yeah,
your own
yeah.
community.
अपने लिए कर लो.
अपने लिए
Yeah,
कर लो,
yeah.
हाँ. Because what happens, right? If anybody from
Everybody,
the creative
yeah,
industry, they get sick, they have COVID. It
yeah,
actually has
yeah.
an impact on so many others.
Of course, of
The whole
course.
industry falls, right?
Just to add on to Miss
We
Jyoti
need to do
also.
a discussion on this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we will, we will.
Later. Yeah. Sorry, Akhilesh.
Sorry, Akhil.
Yes. So just to add on to Miss Jyoti also, we've had a lot of cooperating housing societies who have these clubhouses. So, they have
Uh,
converted now into a quarantine facility. If not for others,
yeah,
at least do it for yourself. Do it for your own
yeah,
society. So we are helping
yeah.
these people also. Let it be a cooperative housing society, be it anything. We are going to help you guys to make that center
That
for
is
your.
amazing. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
So, do
I know,
you?
and you guys take care of. I'm sorry, but you take care of the of even setting it up. So it's like
correct.
no, it's like a no headache for anyone. You just have to provide the
Mhm.
space, and make sure that it
Yeah.
just runs well.
Oh,
That's
so this
yeah.
is the question, Jyoti. You answered the
Yeah.
question. The next question for me is fantastic. So we will ask the question after the answer has been given. So Akhilesh, so you're saying that if we made a donation, of course, that's how we will contribute. If we have people that you can actually, and if I have a swimming pool which I'm not using,
True.
a space there, I can come to
Yeah.
you. You know, actually set up a facility for me.
Yes, we will. We will provide you with each and every assistance, starting from a doctor to a nurse to the facilities, maybe an oxygen cylinder, if needed, an oxygen cylinder, beds, all of those things we will assist you with. Because it's very difficult to find resources actually who can help you set it up. So we are going to do all of that. You just need to give us the place and help us in maintaining the entire thing.
So people listening in, just remember now, one, they help us find a bed actually. Then again, there are two areas to it. There's a free one, and there is one thing that costs money, which you can find out on the website. Two is if you have a space and you want to provide the space for quarantining, please feel free to contact the findbed.in, and there will be information, Akhilesh, online on how they can get this sorted.
Yes,
Then you can volunteer, and like I'm going to say this, age no barrier. I can also volunteer. Cause, if you want to be a cause ambassador, you can also put your hand up to be a cause ambassador, which brings me to my next point, Akhilesh. I'm in London. There are a lot of our friends from Indians in London, the diaspora NRI community watching this. If anybody wants to be a cause ambassador, because I think it's a fantastic idea for us, what do we do? Can we become an ambassador from sitting here in India, Germany, Canada, USA?
100%. So I think we have a cause ambassador from Poland also. How is he helping us? He has a lot of contacts in India. Not contacts as such, but like friends, family, someone or the other will be here in India, right? So they basically send that message to the relatives that they have in India, and they can then broadcast the message. Each and every person else, as you correctly said. Another thing that they can do is they can, of course, donate. They can donate some amount, as I said, like be it €1 or be it 100 pound. It can be anything, and they can help us, build these centers, give the proper facilities to the people who are building these centers. So yeah, they can of course be our cause ambassadors and volunteers too.
So Akhilesh, where do they go and donate? Is there a link that we can have?
Yes. So on the same link, help us. There is one for volunteers, one for cause ambassadors. The third one is to donate. And the fourth one is if you think there is a quarantine facility next to your house, but that has not been registered on the website,
Yeah.
you can always fill in the details and help
Yeah.
us. Okay, and then we will also verify it from our end, and then we can upload it on the website. So like even not being a
Information is
volunteer,
well.
you can always yes.
Yeah.
Sure. So, Akhilesh, what about typically right now, the data that you have? I know it's only a week old. What are the typical users? Do you also have any issues that you're facing that you want to talk to us about, and so that people watching in can say or feel comforted?
The first main, like the people who are using it, it's quite shocking, are not people from metropolitan cities, but are actually people from a Fagwara in Punjab, and there are people from Chennai also in Tamil Nadu. So as we correctly say, that our website is from Kanyakumari to from Kanyakumari to Srinagar, and from Imphal to Ahmedabad. So it's everywhere, and a lot of people are using it already. And yeah, it's quite shocking that people from metropolitan cities are not, because they have access to a lot of things, contacts, their friends, their family, Twitter, Facebook, and all of these things. But the people who are staying in rural India, it is quite helpful for them also because, as I said, a Fagwara, Pathankot, a Barmer also, all these cities also, they are a part of our website. The main issue that we are facing is data. What happens is there are a lot of centers which are not centers anymore. Okay, so in back in the year 2020, that is just 1 year ago, of course. But yeah, back in the year 2020, what happened was there were a lot of amusement parks also which were the quarantine facilities. But now they are back into being an amusement park. But that has not been updated on the government websites or on news articles. So people usually go on that website and they say, oh my God, yes, this amusement park is a quarantine facility. Let me just go there directly. And they find nothing out there. So that is the main issue that we are facing, that people are not being, that is the main motive, that people know where to go and what to do next. Instead of just going to a place that is not even verified.
But your website is updated with that information real time,
Correct. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if
Real time.
somebody finds out that a certain amusement park is not on that list, so somebody real time will just take it off. So it's taken as
Correct.
verified,
Yes.
deleted. Okay.
So,
Verified.
so one
Verified.
of the things, Raga, is that especially in India, we are finding on Twitter, and there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. Everyone's asking for
Hmm.
things, and everyone's requesting, and everyone's also suggesting stuff. So I
Hmm.
think what Find a Bed really is doing is it's kind of cutting through all that noise and saying, here's all the collated, verified leads. These are the leads. You don't
Correct.
need to go scattering all over. Also, then the panic reduces.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everyone's panicking. Everyone's, there's just too much
Hmm.
buzz. Just calm down. There's this one place. Go
Hmm.
look, see, contribute, donate, find a way to help. So you're giving back. If you've gotten something, if someone has received something, give back a little bit. But that noise reduction is really one very, very important. People don't realize because they're all mental bandwidth. Every time you open Twitter, there are like 50 tweets,
Hmm.
you're tagged in where, "Arey, ye chahiye, wo chahiye, koi bed hai, kuch ye hai." Then, you kind of, you have one thing now, which I feel that's the main thing. Everyone should just tag this link to their near and dear ones and say, "Bhai," and even far out and not so dear ones, sabko bhej do
Yeah, I
that
agree.
this is a thing. Please use this first. Don't panic and go everywhere like headless chickens. If you don't find the information there, then come and ask on social media. It'll just make everyone's heartbeats also kind of slow down, I
Sure,
think.
Yeah.
sure. But Akhilesh, Jyoti, I agree with you totally. I think each
Yeah.
one of us exactly, we can do everything
Yeah.
possible to amplify it. But
Yeah.
Akhilesh, you talked about that the maximum usage of this is in rural India. But the
Hmm.
biggest problem in rural India also is not just the quarantining facilities, but it's the medical facilities. You don't
Hmm.
have 10 villages will have one doctor. 20 villages will have one healthcare professional. So how
Hmm.
does one
Hmm.
manage that? Say if you get a requirement tomorrow, panchayat says that, "ठीक है, in my village, I can give you this space for 20 beds." But are we capable of getting medical help, health professionals there? And I know it may not be something that
Hmm.
you can resolve, but is it something that you will need people to help you with?
Yes, so that is the main reason why we have, doctors and nurses who are also our volunteers. Okay, and a lot of doctors and nurses are really willing to help. So we take, medical students also. We have a lot of medical students who are our volunteers and who have been a part of the organization. So of course they go there to that particular place. Of course that this has not yet happened, but this is what our plan is. And I'm so glad Ms. Raga just brought this up also. That we will take these medical professionals or medical volunteers to that particular rural area to build a center first and to help feed these people also. Because one of my friends, she also stays in a very rural part of Maharashtra, and for every small little thing, they have to go to the nearest city, which is like 1.5, 2 hours away, and that is not easy at during the pandemic. That is not safe, and that is not easy and convenient too. So yeah, this is our next step with building a center also.
So your founder Rishabh Shah must be really proud of you, 20,000, 28,000 volunteers, the youth of this country, right? Of India, 50
Yes.
to 23-year-olds doing this. When Akhilesh told me, I asked him for his age because I said, no, let me just find out. And he said he was 20. I really almost fell off my chair. I said, my Lord, this is amazing. And really, I
Yeah,
felt
what
so
were we
sorry.
doing at 20, Raga? What were we doing?
I don't know. It was too
Really?
long time ago.
Yeah.
No,
But this is
unfortunately,
amazing. No, it
yes,
is. It's
yeah, but
yeah.
and Jyoti,
It's
you like
inspiring. Yeah.
inspiring, and you rightly
Very
said when
inspiring.
you rightly said for our younger, our next generation, our
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
these are life experiences that will teach us far more than what
Of
we have learned
course.
in schools and colleges. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
sadly, pandemic has happened, but look at it from this point of view
Yeah.
that we've got an
Yeah.
opportunity to help others, to help ourselves, to
Yeah.
understand what life is really, and
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
more Achilleshes around the world so that this tribe can
Yeah.
increase and can, you know, every time, Jyoti, I'm sure you agree with me
Yeah.
that I feel like what these people are doing is bringing India together.
I know they are.
This is
They
a
really
result.
are. They
Imagine
really
if
are.
there are two
Just giving back. No,
20 million
absolutely.
cause ambassadors, 20
I
million.
have so much hope from this next generation. I just feel if you can come up with this and if you can make it happen and it works and it's flying, I'm like cool. I'm like okay, I can retire. and I can be okay. This next generation is rock stars. Yeah.
And this is why I actually have the show. A lot of people say to me, "You're in London, aram se betho, retire. You don't have to do this with a glass of wine," which I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
But like have a cup of coffee, chill. This is what I
Yeah.
get. You have no idea how many WhatsApp messages I get saying, "Just chill, man." But I'm saying that why? I refuse to look at it as something
Yeah.
negative. I think it's a positive
Yeah.
thing. It's happened. Really sad. We lost lives. We're all with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I think it is an opportunity for all of us, really,
To give back. Yeah.
to give back, to just really
Yeah.
contribute.
Yeah.
And audience listening in, watching in, please send your Akhileshes to volunteer. Please become the cause ambassadors. Please spread the word. We all need all of us together at this time. Find www.findabed.in is the place for all information, help, volunteering,
Yeah.
cause ambassador, donation, any way possible. I think I'm going to bring Akhilesh back maybe a month later, and I have a feeling that this is going to be far, far, far bigger than what it is now. So,
100%.
Jyoti, I'm going to ask you any last words before we end the show.
No, after this, I'm going to pile on to Akhilesh and now, just get eat his head about, okay, I'm going to line these guys up. Do you have the backup for it? Because pata chala, now I'll convince somebody to do it, and Akhilesh has to then back me up and say. But I think it's great. I think everyone I think Akhilesh, what you guys are doing is super amazing, especially when you have breaks in the middle. I thought that was so cool. You don't forget you're 20 and you don't forget that you've got youngsters. It's I just think God bless you kids. Yeah, really.
Akhilesh, anything from you? Because you seem to be getting a lot of comments in the comment section, people praising you. Fantastic, great initiative, sounds promising. All kudos to you. So, anything that you'd like to share with us before we end the show?
First thing is thank you so much all the volunteers. Thank you so much, Mr. Radha. Thank you so much, Ms. Jyoti. Because it is you all who are helping us amplify this message, and all the 26,000 young volunteers who are actually verifying the data in real time, so that people just don't go somewhere where there is no quarantine facility. So yeah, I first would like to thank everyone who's helping us out. And secondly, yeah, do volunteer, do help us if you know any verified centers that are there. Log into our website if you need any help. You can always visit www.findabed.in. Yeah, and thank you so much. Stay safe, stay sanitized, and get vaccinated as soon as possible.
Thank you. And yes, stay safe, everyone. And please make sure that
Yeah.
if you have any comments, leave it in the comment box. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at theviewsroom@gmail.com. We're always happy to respond to each one of us individually. And you know that we always do that. And Nicola, thank you for your support in the background and for stitching it all together. And Jyoti, thank you for coming on the show at such short notice.
Thank you.
Very, very
My
valuable
pleasure.
insights.
My
Valuable
pleasure.
insights. And the energy you bring on, Jyoti, I just love that energy. Seriously, thank you for that. And Akhilesh, no words. I've said 10,000 words, but no words. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
God's work, really God's work. Thank you so much,
Thank,
Akhilesh. Thank
thank
you.
you.
And
Please,
Rishabh, yeah, and all the volunteers.
yes,
Yeah.
please thank Rishabh Shah for all on
Yeah.
behalf of all of us
100%.
and all the volunteers. And thank you for joining in, audience. Without you, we can never do this show. So please remember to log into Totally Out Now on Facebook and Instagram for such stories. Signing out, Totally Out Now.